So hey y'all, what is up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're watching on Instagram, welcome back to So Talks. It's just really nice to be here, it's really nice to be here. I haven't done a video in a while. Been going through my own journey. That's a whole story within itself. I don't know if we will cover that. We won't, not today. But it's just so nice to be here. And I just want to dedicate this video to my friend Lennox, because Lennox is the one who was like, hey, I haven't seen a YouTube video in a while. And she was like, I watched another time. So I just want to say shout out to Lennox. I love you. My Gemini gal from me. And yeah, let's just get into it. So we're going to do something new today. And I must admit, I was watching this YouTube video from this girl. I think her name is it's like Water Baby Vibes something tarot. I don't know, but it's not even tarot. It's like just vibes. And basically, she was just channeling a message from her dream or stuff like that, and that really just called to me. And she was talking about this thing about a walker. I'll definitely link her page below because she has great content. She's talking about this walker, and she was like, yeah, basically, when are you going to stop holding on to the crutch? Because as soon as you step out into the rain, you're covered and you're supported. So it's that crutch was a blessing when it was you needed it, and now you don't need the crutch anymore. You can just go off on your own. So originally my plan today was to do a collective reading spread for Instagram and maybe go on Twitter, or here on YouTube record a video for the signs, a collective tarot spread. And I have been reading tarot for about maybe 3 years. So now 3 years so far. And I always had this feeling of yes, the tarot cards are helping me, but I want to reach a point to where it is I can just channel messages without needing to use the tarot cards. So here we are. That was the intro. 2:22 on the clock. But here we are. And so I was just you know what? Fuck it, we gonna try it. And so I'm trying it out, and we're gonna see how it goes. So I channeled this little ting. I don't know if you can see it. And I'm just gonna read some notes for you guys and get into the channel. So to start it off, we have the channeled melody, which I don't know, I just felt putting that down instead of channel message. But as soon as I put that down, I got this song that, this melody that came to me. And so I was just singing it. And then I realized that it was one of the songs that I had written before in 2 years ago. So I'm going to sing that to you guys, and then we'll jump into the actual message. So the channel melody is, let it go, being my feelings, yeah, let it go. If you're not feeling me, let it go, don't stop the flow, no, let it go, oh, let it go, go, let it go, go, let it go. Okay, but yeah, so that's the song. And the words are basically, let go of being in my feelings. Yeah, let go if you're not feeling me. Let go, don't stop the flow now. Let it go. Oh. So I wrote this down, and I didn't really understand what it meant. But I wrote it down. So then I'm getting the video. I'm getting all the crystals and stuff set up. And I have this shell that I got from the beach that we usually use for ashtray, or just to burn sage and stuff like that. So I'm putting the ashes out in the trash bag, and I come back and there's this little tiny brown seed. I will show you the brown seed. There's this little tiny brown seed. It looks like this. Oh, makeup tutorial. There we go. And it's just sitting on the chair, and I'm okay, well, what the heck is this? What is this? And I look at it, and I'm all right, maybe it came from the chair. And I see the spot where it is, it fell off, and I try to put it back. And it's I can see the glue in there, and it's not going back. It's not going back. So I just put it on the table. But then I look at the chair further, and I see that there is another open space in it. So I'm okay, well, another seed or another of the circle things have fallen off, and there's nothing I can really do about that. So I'm gonna just keep this here, and maybe, I don't know, it'll mean something. And all of a sudden, I got it in my head, and I was like, this is a message. This is a message. Prior to, I had prayed, and I was like, you know what, Spirit, like, I don't really know how to go off on my own without the tarot cards, but I know I have it in me, so, like, what are we gonna do? Let's just see what happens. And I was like, yo, this is the channel, like, this is the message. So what I did, I put the seed down. I keep calling it the seed. There's purpose to that. I put the seed down, and I just started, like, channeling. I just started writing whatever was coming to me, and I just didn't stop. I just went. And so I have 2 full pages of notes that I got from that event, along with, like, the channel melody and, like, me telling you guys the story. That's kind of just, like, the before, like, we can call it, like, the melody, the reading of the melody, right? And now we're about to go into the analysis, the actual message of the melody. And I like calling my things like soul songs and channeled melodies, because I love music, and everything is a flow, and flow to me is a perfect harmony and a perfect melody. So we're just gonna get into that. Before I do that though, we're gonna pray. We're gonna send our thanks and gratitude to the ancestors, the spirit, to the guides, to God, and then we're gonna get into it. So, dear God, ancestors, guides, spirit, beautiful Mama Gaia, thank you for waking me up today. Thank you for allowing me to be here, and allow me to surrender any ego, preconceived notions, bias, personal feelings, fear, any disharmonious emotion and personal feelings that might get into the way of your word, and allow me to just be a clear vessel for your messages. And Spirit, thank you for allowing me to be that vessel and to send your words out to the collective. And I ask that this message touches whoever needs to hear it, whoever needs to see it, and that it may spark a supernova, a connection within their hearts to then, you know, go out on a way that is for their highest good. So, Ashe, Amen, and so is it. Let's begin. So, first one, something is out of place. You keep trying to put it back on to the way it was, but the tea is that it isn't meant to return back to its original state. A moment of realization, a surprise. So, what I get from this is that when I saw that the seed was on the seat, I was trying to put it back, and it's just like, yo, that's just not going back. It wasn't meant to go back. Stop trying to put things back to its original state when it's ready to be transformed. And this causes a moment of realization, right? Once we realize that the thing that it is that we have been trying to make work, that is just simply not working, or the thing that we're trying to fix, and the thing that we keep having to go back and fix that thing, and it keeps falling out. It's like the spirit is trying to tell us, all right, it's time for redirection. It's time for a renovation. It's time for a change, because the old way, the old regime, that shit is not working anymore. And that causes a realization of, oh my gosh, okay, well, this is significant. I cannot keep trying to fix. I cannot keep trying to change, revert something back that doesn't want to be reverted back. No, it is time for something new to be birthed. And that is why I call the little wooden thing the seed. Because yes, it has fallen out of its original state, but it was meant to. It was divine. It was called. And now, from the consciousness of your own being, you can now take this thing that has fallen out, and you can plant something new. You can birth anew. Because here's the thing. It's not that it fell away and it's not in your hands. No, it's still in your hands. Now you have the conscious choice to do something with it. 11:11 on the clock. Let's keep going. You see that something there wasn't there before, and you're like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? Someone is unrecognizable, and it catches you off guard. It's spirit. So with this, it's like, when I saw the little seed, and I was like, this was not just here a second ago when I came and I sat my ass down on this chair, but now it's here. And you're kind of just like, it's a feeling of curiosity. Someone's gonna get a feeling of curiosity that's kind of just like, they notice something. And it's not something bad. It's just something that's out of the ordinary, something that's unusual. And what I get from this is like, it's the feeling of seeing a person act in a certain manner in which it is that you're just like, oh, this is new. And it's not like, they're not like aggressive or anything. It's just in a way in which it was that you wouldn't have expected, that caught you off guard. And when it says like it's spirit, what I'm getting is that it's spirit. Spirit is the change within them. Spirit is going to be the change in somebody's life. So spirit is going to be the change in somebody's relationship, to the point where it is that someone is going to be just like walking normally, just going about the regular day, and there's going to be something that just resonates with their heart chakra and that just catches them off guard, and they're just like, whoa, why did I not see this before? Because spirit is here now. Spirit is here with an opportunity for you to transform the relationships in your life, transform the areas in your life in which it is that, you know, you have those interpersonal relationships. It could be romantic, it could be your work partnership, it could be your friendships. It doesn't really matter. Just your relations with people are being renewed. They're being rebirthed. And the change that it is that you're about to see, and you're not going to expect it, because it's not something that has been happening over time. It's an abrupt change. It's like kind of like a check-in point, like in video games, how they have like, oh, do you want to save now or do you want to continue? Like blah, blah, blah. It's a check-in point. And it's urgent, it's abrupt, and it happens like in a split second of an eye, and it catches you off guard with a feeling in which you can't miss, and you can't mistake it as anything else other than spirit. And you will know that it is spirit. All right, so let's keep going. The fruits of your labor are now ready to fall. I think about like the seed and the it just like falling out of nowhere. It's because it is that now it's your opportunity to see the reward, see the work that it is that you have been doing pay off. And while I said that, you know, the moment in which it is that you see the unrecognizable thing, or the person that's acting like unrecognizable, and they're just like filled with spirit just overcomes the situation, you have been doing some mental work in the background that has created this change. And while there hasn't been change in your circumstance really happening over time, there's been change in your mental state that has been forming over time. And now it is that though the sheddings, kind of like a butterfly coming out of its cocoon, the sheddings of that state in which it is that you have been growing your mind, and which is you have been releasing limited beliefs and preconceived notions, like it's the shedding of that falls, so that you can actually truly see the butterfly at 1:44 on the clock and spirit for what it really is. There is now space to create something new. It's not broke. It doesn't need fixing. Stop trying to super glue your problems back on. It doesn't need a quick fix. No, it's time for a renovation. It's time for a rebirth. Stop trying to put the things that it is that do not work back into the same spaces in which you freed yourself from. You don't need to go back there. You don't need to dwell there. You don't need to live there. Spirit is saying what you need is not a quick fix. What you need is to not keep going around trying to fix a situation. No, what you need is to surrender and allow the changes to occur. There is more power, and especially I'm going to speak to people who are like more in their feminine energy as like dominant, especially when it is that you are in your feminine energy. There is more power and just going inward and attuning to flow than trying to create or force something to change in which it is that is not working. It's like, no, follow your flow, follow your heart. Do not keep trying to super glue things back that are clearly falling for a reason. Go with the flow, allow the change to happen, because there's some limiting beliefs that are going on that is making you believe that, you know, this change is not good. This change is not for you. This change is not, it's not serving. This change is actually a catastrophe. It's actually like a really big burden, when in actuality, it is a change because it's time for something to be rebirthed. There's renewal. If it is that you face your fears with fearlessness, the things that it is that you have to face no longer exist. It ceases to exist. So when it is, you allow change to do what change does, and you attune to the flow of what is, you will see that it wasn't changing because it was that there was a lack of or something was going away. No, it's changing so that it can be rebirthed from a new place of consciousness that is not of your wounds, but is that of your worth. You give birth to the thing, you give birth to life from your worth, not your wounds. I feel like there is something that has happened, that somebody has been giving birth to places and things and relationships from their wounds, and Spirit is saying, now let that mentality fall away. Now I will place a conscious seed in your hand so that it is you can create and give life to things from your worth, not your wounds. The universe is renewing your relationships, and the illusion is that there isn't a solid base. But honey, there's nothing wrong with the base of the chair. The details are falling out. There's a need to get your story straight. Like I was saying before, the illusion is that, okay, well, since this tiny small part of this chair, right, is falling out, the chair is no longer of use to me. The chair is tainted. It's everything is just done, and that is not true. We're getting tripped up over tiny details here. There's a tiny detail that it is that somebody is getting tripped up over. It's a belief, a mindset that is falling out, like I said before, that is tripping someone up. But it's falling out because you need to get your story straight. You need to get the details straight. There are certain limitations and beliefs in the mind that are causing distortions, and you are not seeing the chair for what the chair really is. Do you know what I mean? There is nothing wrong with the seat. There is nothing wrong with the legs of the chair. It is only a small, tiny piece of that chair that is falling away, so that it is you can create more space to consciously create a new thing. Ain't nothing wrong with the chair. The details that are no longer serving, the limiting beliefs that are no longer of service to you, that are creating problems within your life and in certain fractions and areas of which it is you dwell in your life, there are the things that are creating problems. So now Spirit is helping you to allow them to fall away, so that now you can create new seeds, new thoughts, new patterns, new paradigms in your mind to then create consciously and build something that is of higher value than what these little seeds were. God is renovating parts of your relationships and upgrading them. Like I said, the seed is an upgrade. It's an upgrade. It's a blessing. It's a blessing in disguise. Your relationships and just, I get like work life, work business life, your partnerships are expanding to a new level of purpose. Before it was you were, having relationships with people, like I said, all different types of relationships from your wounds, not from your worth. Now it is you're going to start building relationships from your worth. Your relationships have a higher sense of purpose. Now you're creating relationships not just to dwell in trauma bond. No, you're creating relationships to start and ignite purpose. You're not creating business partnerships to just like sate the feeling of greed that you may have. No, you're creating business partnerships to be a part of something bigger than yourself. Now is the time to be a part of something bigger than yourself, and your relationships are going to start reflecting that. There are programs outdated in your mind. Slowly, God is taking them away. They are falling down one by one. Like I was saying, limiting beliefs in your minds that was halting you from your growth, that were holding you back. And while I say, yes, they were holding you back from, the miracle that it is that you were trying to attain, they were also growing you. They were also building your spiritual strength, so that when it is that you make it out the mud, when it is that you release these paradigms in your mind, finally, you have new awareness. And from awareness, then we have choice. And when we have choice, we have more power within us. So there's that. Old paradigms in your mind from lineages before, ancestral karma. It's time to begin anew. You served your time for the elders already, and now they're going to help you create anew. So when I was channeling this, I got ancestral karma, not ancestral curses, ancestral karma. So limiting beliefs that it is that you were upholding in your mind, they could have came from childhood, and from them coming from childhood, from before it was that you had consciousness, think for yourself. those limiting beliefs and stuff came from your parents' limiting beliefs and paradigms that were in their mind, which then came from their parents, but it was just the things that they didn't get to, heal. So now, like, it got passed on to you as an opportunity for you to heal, for you to be the curse breaker, the karma breaker in your family or whatever. But now that the seed is falling, now that those paradigms in your mind are falling, now that it's time for, the rebirth, the renewal, you did your lineage a favor by healing, because no one in your lineage has ever healed the way that it is that you did. So now your ancestors are smiling upon you, and they're ready to help you move to the next level of your life. And I feel that, like, in that it's a very beautiful energy. It's a very beautiful energy. It's like, like giving back, except it's like ancestral strength. They're giving it back to you. Like, you had to uphold and like go through the mud for them, for the things that it is that they had healing with. They didn't have the tools. That's the thing. They didn't have the tools. You have the tools, and so now you healed. And now they're looking down at you, and they're surrounding you, and they're just like, you did this for us. You did this for yourself too, but this affected us. This freed us from our pain and our suffering, and now we're gonna help you create a new for the family. That's what I get from the family. Looking back at your mind and seeing there's more room to grow, someone is establishing a growth mindset now. So when it was that I took the seed and I was looking at the chair and I was like, oh, where do I put it back? I saw that there was another space in which it is that another of the wooden circle things had fallen out. And when I was writing down the story, I was like, oh, well, that's the equivalent of like looking back, right? Now that Spirit has made you pay attention. Now that Spirit has made you pay attention to your mind and the things that has happened, you can look back at certain situations and be like, wow, well, there's already space created. Like, there are already limiting beliefs in my mind that I have let go. Like, I have already been healing. And it's like, yeah, you have been doing that, but you haven't really been recognizing yourself. You haven't really been seeing how much you've been growing. You haven't really seen how much you've been flourishing mentally, because, when it is that you have dark days, it can feel like the dark days are consuming you. I know it can feel like that for me. And so I don't know who this specific thing is for, but it's like, you need to recognize yourself more, and you need to see that you have been doing the work. Right? It's like, we think we have all this work to do, but mind you, the whole time we're doing so much that we don't even see, because we're so fixated on like doing the work. Spirit is saying, look back at the chair and look back at the space in which you have created. This is the only reason why this is happening, because you freed yourself, because you're freeing yourself. And so now this is a gift from me, saying thank you for coming back to the light. Thank you for coming back to yourself. Your ancestors saying, thank you for freeing us. Thank you for being an agent of change in the bloodline, in the lineage, in the generation. Thank you. This is a gift. This is a divine miracle. And it's like, you've been so focused working on yourself. Spirit is like, take a minute and see who the fuck you are. Take a minute and see your lights. Take a minute and see how far you've come, how many adverse situations and circumstances you've had to overcome. Take a look at how strong you are now. Take a look at how certain shit doesn't even affect you the way it did, because it is that you went through the mud and you built that spiritual strength, and now it is you can jump back to your home frequency so much more quicker. Now it is you don't get stuck in the density. No, now it is you can travel between light and density as the bridge. Can you see the new muscles that it is that you have built trying to get up from the mud? Can you see how strong you are? Can you see the vehicles and that you have cultivated within yourself to be able to navigate the earthly and the spiritual plane back and forth, to be able to access the dark matter and the quantum fields of your mind and come back to the light and transcend that shit? Can you see how you became the alchemist? Can you see how you became so close to the spirit of transmutation? Can you see how y'all are like this now? Can you see the things that you have mastered in your mind and in your state of being? Can you see that? It's time for your miracle. Your miracle is waiting on you, but it can't come till you're ready. So what are you going to do? There's a song by MUMU Fresh, and I'm going to link that below too. I love that song. It's like, your miracle is waiting on you, but it can't come until you're ready. What you gonna do? Your miracle is waiting on you, but it can't come until you're ready. What you gonna do? Quit looking on the outside. Hey, you'll find your miracle in the right time. Hey, it's a great song. I'll link that down, but that came to me when I was writing, and it's just like, yeah, your miracle is waiting on you, but it can't come until it is that you see yourself in the miracle that you are, and that you realize that you are of high value and you are exactly aligned with the miracle that is presenting itself to you. But first you need to see yourself. You cannot receive what it is that you can't even see yourself as a receptor of the miracle. How the heck you gonna receive the miracle? It can't come until you're ready. You are in control of your fate. In this instance, you are in control of when it is that you're about to receive the miracle. So first it is, you got to see yourself as worthy and receptive as of this miracle, because it is that you are the miracle. So you are only attracting the things that you are in the universe. Stop looking on the outside of factors and things that it will validate your worth. No, look on the inside and see yourself as a freaking prize, as a divine gift. And I don't mean it as an objective sense. I mean it as in you are very valuable. You are of the highest value. Start seeing yourself as a miracle. And then your miracle will arrive, because it's just been waiting on you. It's just been waiting on you to see yourself. It's simple like that. So you're ready. You just got to declare to the universe that you're ready. Because you're ready. Take it from me. You're ready. So, pine cone falling from the tree, third eye spirit telling you it's time. Yeah, so I saw the little seed as kind of it reminds me of pine cones falling from a pine tree. And pine cones are in association with the third eye in metaphysics. So it's there is a specific moment in which it is that you may have been going through a circumstance or something that it is that you normally go through with another person. It's just a reoccurring thing that could be reoccurring with a person. And all of a sudden it's you go into it with different perception than what it usually is. You go to it from a free perspective, not a perspective that is trapped in the wounds of your subconscious mind. And because it is that you go through it from a place of freedom and a place of clarity and spiritual perception from your higher self. You start seeing shit differently. You start seeing, oh my gosh, there is actually so much space here. I was getting the story wrong. My distortions were creating illusions in my mind. But now that it is that I'm seeing freely from a place of not my wounds, but my worth and my value, I can see the value of what is presented in front of me. And I know that there is change being made, because there's change being made within me. Someone's mind is undergoing spiritual transformation. This is a divine opportunity due to the space someone made energetically. Like I was saying, you made space in your mind energetically, and so that space is now reflected in your outer world. You now see space for change, whereas before you were too close to the middle, and when you're too close to the center, you can't really see the space, because your perception's right here instead of seeing the whole perspective, and there's a need to see the bigger picture. And I would get that oracle card all the time, and I think that's so funny that it kind of relates to this. I understand that now. So anyway, continuing on. Did it unknowingly. Only saw it once that spirit sent them a sign, then took a look back and saw that there was already a space made. Can't remember why they made it, but don't need to know. All they need to know is that spirit saw it, and now it's time for spiritual renovation. So there's something that it is. There's an action that you took that you didn't really think that much of it. but energetically it made all the difference. So it is not that you need to understand what it is this moment is. I mean, if you want to, you can look back at your life and see where it is, like in the near distant past, where it is that, you know, you may have made an action and all of a sudden everything changed from there. That's the moment in which it is this is talking about. But you weren't doing it for that. You were just doing it. You were, you know, just flowing, just acting from your heart center. And that created ripples in your energetic aura and your energetic field, which then created ripples in your life. And so that was kind of like a call from the universe. I get kind of like a judgment energy. But you didn't know you were at a crossroads. And it doesn't matter that it is that you didn't know, because Spirit was watching. Spirit is seeing everything. Spirit is omnipresent. Spirit is all-knowing. And so it is that you made that action, that choice, and it changed everything for you. And so now it's time to reap the benefits of that choice. There's a specific thing that it is that you did. It's specific. You may have said something to somebody. You may have like done something for somebody. You may have like maintained your power in a certain situation in which it is that it comes around all the time and you always give your power away. There's something that it is that you did that now Spirit is like, all right, we see you're ready. Energetically, you're telling yourself that you're ready. And so it's time to upgrade your life. So congratulations, you passed your own test that you put in front of yourself to test if you are actually ready to go to the next level of your life. It's time to thrive. That is the channeled melody of today. My first time doing this, and like I'm really happy to be sharing, well, my first time doing this and sharing it with you guys. So I'm really happy to be sharing it with you guys and have it in this format. And let me know if it resonated with you. Share this with your friends, whoever you feel like could benefit from hearing this message. And I'll see you sometime really soon, because I'm going to start doing more of these. And, you know, going off on my own journey and putting the tarot cards down and just using my spirit to channel, because I'm blessed to be a channel for spirit. So, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, great rest of your night, and I'll see you next time. Bye. It was, I'm gonna call it the seed. It's not a seed. What is this called? Like the thing? Ornament? I'm gonna call it an ornament. It's like, what is it? Like, what is it? Don't get tripped up on the details, Ebony. And that was a part of the circle. Well, we're just gonna call it the seed, because that's what it is. It's the seed. So